Brother, if you want your son high-level wrestling, send him 2-3 years Dagestan and forget.
Sounds like a joke, right? But what if I told you that some of the most dominant athletes, the most disciplined entrepreneurs, and the most resilient minds in the world all have one thing in common. It's not just talent, and it's not just hard work. It's something deeper, something that shapes their discipline, fuels their drive, and keeps them focused under pressure. Whether it's the octagon, a boardroom, or a classroom, one thing keeps showing up: faith. And in Kazakhstan, where Islamic values meet modern careers, we ask a clear question: how do religious beliefs influence personal performance and career success in Kazakhstan? Our research shows that religious beliefs positively impact personal and professional success. They do so by shaping discipline, fostering emotional resilience, and creating strong community-based support systems. These elements combine to support individuals not only in their personal lives, but also in their careers and broader goals. Let's break that down.
In Islam, work is more than a job. It's worship, ibadah. According to Zara, when work is done sincerely, it becomes a form of devotion. Honesty, trust, and excellence, amana, and ihsan are core Islamic values. According to survey data, 80% said values like honesty, patience, and discipline help with their career success. When you see every task as something you are accountable for, you don't cut corners, you don't cheat, you show up fully.
For many professionals, especially entrepreneurs and leaders, work doesn't stop when they leave the office. The way you treat people at home, how you talk to your spouse, your kids, your parents, it all affects how you show up at work the next day. If there's chaos at home, it's hard to focus. If there's no respect at home, it's hard to lead with integrity. Islam doesn't separate your work life from your personal life. It teaches that your character, your discipline, your patience, they start at home and follow you everywhere. That's why, for a lot of successful Muslims, faith becomes the foundation for everything. From how they build companies to how they speak to their neighbor. And no one explains this better than Habib Nurmagomedov. Not just a champion in the cage, but a man whose discipline starts with how he lives. Here's what he says.
My religion teaches this to me, to be a nice person, to be a good man, to be a good family man, like to be a good neighbor, to be a good friend. This is only because of my religion, because of my faith. Everybody have their own way, but I choose to show this, to represent this, and to be proud of this.
Success isn't just a talent, it's how you handle the pressure. Islam teaches sabr, which is patience, and tawakkul, which is trust in Allah. According to you, religious people report higher emotional resilience and lower stress. Survey results shows that 80% of people say their faith helps them bounce back from the challenges. When you believe that setbacks are tests, not failures, you don't panic. You keep moving forward.
This kind of inner strength, patience and trust is something you can always see on the surface, but it's often difference between someone who breaks under pressure and someone who keeps going quietly, even when everything feels heavy. And that doesn't just apply to athletes or business leaders. It applies to students, to teachers, to anyone dealing with uncertainty, stress, or loss. When your worldview tells you that hardships have a purpose and that relief is promised after difficulty, you start seeing challenges differently. You stop asking, why me? And start asking, what is this teaching me? We spoke to Dr. Sham, a professor at our university, who shared how remembering God helped him to stay steady during his hardest moments.
Whenever I am in difficult situation, so I will always remember Allah, that God is there. And over the years, for several many years, I have come across so many difficulties. And my last resort is turn towards Allah. And all my problems have been solved out and I have remained successful with the help of Allah. So with those experiences, now my belief and my trust in Allah has been grown. And now I become more and more confident. So it's like the last, when I'm last, so the last thing to go to is towards Allah.
تبلوا بالقليل من القليل تبلوا بالقليل من القليل وهي الزاد للسفر الطويل وهي الزاد للسفر الطويل.
When it comes to building career, one thing is clear. Who you know really does matter. But it's not just about networking at corporate events or scrolling through LinkedIn. Sometimes the most powerful connections come from your own community, your faith community. Business dinners, mask events, and young professionals meetups, these aren't just social gatherings, they're spaces where support, advice, and even job opportunities are shared. Studies backed this up. Putnam said the various communities help build social capital and visit careers. More recently, we found that muscle and business networks help people connect and thrive professionally. Take Kazakhstan for example. A survey found that 65% of people think the country's work environment supports rigorous practice, but not everyone has it easy. 15% still face issues like the lack of player space, alcohol at events, or not getting time for rigorous breaks. But even with the challenges, the impact on community is real. Faith creates community, and that community creates opportunity.
وقف الطفل وحده والليالي ورصاص من حوله.
It's easy to follow your values when people around you do the same, but it gets hard when the place you're in doesn't support them. Not every workplace has time for prayer. Not every school offers room for faith. And in some environments, being openly religious feels uncomfortable, like something you need to tone down just to fit in. Even in a country like Kazakhstan, where Islam is part of the culture, faith isn't always part of the system. And for those coming from places where religion shapes everyday life, the difference is sharp. Dr. Sham Haidar felt this too when he first arrived in Kazakhstan. This is what he experienced.
So, my opinion about Kazakhstan before coming here, so I was thinking that it is like a Muslim country like other Muslim countries, just as Pakistan, Saudi Arabia or others. But when I came here, so my first impression was it's just like a Western society. But when I, explore a little bit, so I came across that, internally it's a Muslim country, but apparently it has adopted more and more Western lifestyle.
What we've seen through interviews, research, and real stories is that living with faith isn't always easy, especially when the world around you moves fast and in a different direction. But for many people, religion stays constant. It becomes a personal standard, something that shapes how they think, how they work, and how they lead. In moments of pressure, faith gives patience. In moments of doubt, it gives clarity. And in the long run, it gives people something to build on. So does religion really help people succeed? Our answer is yes. Not because it hands you success, but because it helps you build it.
Насколько помогала вера?
Только вера и помогает, больше ничего не помогает. Я даже удивляюсь людей, которые не верят, что есть предопределение, есть воля Всевышнего. Есть вещи, которые мы не контролируем. Например, кто-то может проиграть, или у кого-то могут быть там определенные потери в жизни. Мы просто живем, и иногда мы думаем, что что-то к нам приходит, потому что вот мы такие классные, вот мы такие хорошие, умные, сильные. У таких людей, я думаю, что у них никогда не будет ни счастья, ни порядка в голове. У них всегда будет где-то волнение, у них всегда будет, скажем так, суета.